So we got married in 1993, and we were pretty active in our church, and we started going on short-term mission trips, and we were volunteering here and there. And we went out with a men's mission that used to be downtown, and we were in a truck, and we went sort of different places around town to serve folks that were homeless, food and clothing, and then we went to the end of a street, and we went down into the woods.
As we were walking in the woods, we just saw these people living in tents. Something happened in both of our hearts that night, and it just was like, it was very powerful.
We had several confirmations over the next couple of days, and we recognized that this is why we were born. So after that, we kept going on short-term mission trips, and we got involved in the homeless ministry within our church and with a couple other organizations in town whenever we could. Never intended really to be a full-time thing, but just something that we wanted to do as when we were volunteering or when we were doing ministry.
Joe was very busy with some businesses that he had started, and he's very entrepreneurial. And then we had Caleb, and just busy being parents and a new mom. So I just kept having these promptings in my heart. Okay, we need to get back out there and help the homeless people.
And then when the world changed in 2008 and the economy changed, I had some time on my hands. And so it was like no more excuses. And so we made the commitment to start going out once a week starting on September 3rd of 2008. And it was just going to be a family thing. We weren't going to tell anybody else.
We had so many requests from the homeless folks, like I need a blanket, or I need a coat, or I need shoes. And so what we started doing was just sending emails out to some of our friends, and so people started giving us things.
I had a little plastic bin with drawers, and I had my window down, so it was kind of like a drive-through, only they'd walk up, they'd say what they needed, and then I'd go to the drawer and grab it, give it to them.
Each week I would make maybe a big pot of goulash or hamburgers or something that I could wrap up in foil that was really easy to give out.
I was really curious why they were homeless and what we could do to help them take positive steps forward. On one hand, we wanted to help people survive, and we wanted to help them have a more comfortable life, but we also wondered how could we really help them.
So at night, when we would come home and get cozy and comfy in our nice warm bed, that's when it really would hit home about the people that we had just served. And I remember a lady named Sharon. She just lived in this filthy, dirty tent, and she hated that life. She would say, "Jackie, please help me get out of here. Please help me get out of here." And it was really, it would tug at my heart, and then I would just feel like, oh my gosh, we need to help get these people off the streets and into a nice apartment or a warm bed. And it was really hard to sleep at night.
So after having started in September and going out every week, in early December there was a fire, and another organization had been providing heat to the homeless for a number of years, and suddenly they decided they weren't going to do it anymore. And so we just felt like God was calling us to pick that up. It was kind of like the next level of our calling. And yet we didn't have any source of income at the time, and so we just told God that if He would provide the way, we would do it. We never intended to start an organization. We thought this was just kind of a private family mission thing, but God had other plans. And so as we found more and more unmet needs, and as the winter heat program, we launched that in December, we really needed to start telling our friends about it and getting more people involved into helping to provide the funds for it. And so Joppa was born early in 2009.
One really special thing about Joppa is that we are definitely faith-based. We rely on the ultimate source of God, and He has always supplied everything that we need. He's brought so many wonderful donors and partners around us to just propel us to where He wants us to go. And so I think that's a really special part of Joppa, and we think of it as a ministry.
Our signature verse is Acts 9:36, which says, "In Joppa there was a disciple named Tabitha. She was always doing good and helping the poor." This is the earliest point in recorded history where a small group of people got together and started an outreach to go out and help the poor.
So when we first started, when I was 7, it would just be me and my family going out once a week. And now there's volunteers that I don't even know their names, and we're going out almost every day of the week to different camps, and there's always people at the Joppa Center doing work projects. So it's grown to something bigger than I could have ever imagined.
As we got further into it, we just knew that we had to help end homelessness, and if you can do it for one person, then you can do it for another. And hopefully if you can figure out some replicable models and how we can educate people about why are people homeless and why should we care and what can we do about it, And that's all it should take, and then we can end homelessness across the country.
I feel like a lot of people, when they see homeless people, they just judge them right away. But once you actually get to meet them and learn their story, you understand there's so many factors outside of their control, that it wasn't their fault that they became homeless necessarily. No one raises their hands if you ask a group of 7th graders, hey, who wants to be homeless when they grow up? No one chooses this life. So just going out there, you become more empathetic and understanding of people.
You know, this started off as just a family ministry, and we had no idea that God was going to take it to where it is today. But with so many volunteers and donors and partners coming around this vision and helping and making Joppa what it is today, it's very humbling to be a part of that. And we're just excited to see where God takes it next.